Hello students, and welcome to Education 1300, our Learning Frameworks class, and welcome to our Blackboard shell. What I'd like to do in this tutorial video is just give you an overview of how you're going to go about navigating this course, especially this first week. I'm going to walk you through this area that's labeled course content, and that means everything that falls below. And I'm also going to walk you through what appears up in this top left area. We're going to call it the course menu. And I also just want to refer to a couple of things here on the left-hand side that we're going to call details and actions. So for this first week of classes, please take all the time and energy that you need to really read. Please read everything, especially here in the Start Here folder right here, because it's going to give you such a great grounding for the entire semester. So what is here in the Start Here folder? So let's go ahead and click on that, open that up, and you'll see a bunch of stuff comes out and is available. So please, again, take that time and energy to read it. And we're going to go through each of these little menu items so you understand what's in them. So if we start with the welcome area, in this welcome Start Here folder is information about me, your professor, just to get to know me a little bit better, including some information about my professional and personal background, a little bit about my office hours, and so forth. So it welcomes you to this course. It tells you a little bit more about me. It also tells you a little bit about the education department and my colleagues. The second area is called the Essential Course Information area. This is a critical area, so please spend a good amount of time and energy here. It obviously tells you the course description, and it also tells you about our required textbook, which is called OnCourse. It also tells you some very important information called What Do You Need to Know? And you can see there are 10 important guidelines for our course. And it also lays out some expectations that I have for you called Faculty Expectations from Students, and some expectations that you should have for me. So please make sure you read those over. The next section is called Syllabus, Calendar, and Course Policies. Let's go there next. Those are some very critical pieces of information I have available to you. You can see that the syllabus is available both in the Concourse form and the traditional Microsoft Word format. And I would recommend that you print out the syllabus and also the calendar, which appears here in Microsoft Word. The calendar is also available in the syllabus format. Print those out and always have them available as we go through the weeks and the months ahead. There are also links to STC's academic calendar and the final exam schedules. There's some other information here, as well as a video about class times and study times in college. As we move down, we already mentioned that the course book is called, the required course book is called OnCourse, and you can see here that there is some information if you decide to go with the link that I've provided and you want access to the e-textbook, you can use these handy dandy links to access that e-textbook. So you might want to look into those links. The next two links that I have provided are resources available to you at the college. The first link is for Blackboard Help, and the second link is for additional college services and resources, whether those are, advising and counseling, financial aid, the CLE, the library, but they're clickable links of services to you to help and assist you in being successful at the college. And finally, the last link is about privacy statements at the college. So as you look at the Start Here folder, right, it is always going to be available to you. It never closes the entire semester. So do spend some time and energy this first week of classes. But again, you always have it accessible. So if you ever forget anything, you can go into this folder again. But please remember, the most important information is the syllabus, calendar, course policies, and also those guidelines and expectations that are available in the Essential Course Information folder. So I'm going to go ahead and close that Start Here folder, and I want to show you what's available underneath the Start Here folder that might be of use to you. One of those items is Pronto, and Pronto is our instant messaging app. So you can instant message with me. You can see the hours that I'm available. It is not 24/7, so please be cognizant of that. You can also instant message with your classmates. I also want to make you aware of distance education, or the digital learning department as they're now called. If you click on this link, and I do want to open that link so you can see all of the amazing resources that are available to you as support for online students, anything from password assistance to orientations to meeting with advisors, Microsoft Office 365, their contact information via phone, access 24/7, chat hours, and so forth. So please, if you need any assistance with the online environment, you can reach them through that link. And then if you need help from me directly, there are several ways of getting a hold of me, but you also can connect with me through the discussion boards if you need help through about a question about an assignment, or you need troubleshooting with technology. These are discussion threads. So that's available underneath the Start Here folder. So those are links as well. Now, in terms of the course content area, you can see how do we launch our course? Well, as the semester proceeds, we have week 1 all the way to the end of the semester, which is going to be through finals week, and it varies how many weeks there are depending on the semester. But in any typical week, you're not going to see the entire semester. So depending on the week, let's say this is week 1, but let's say we're in week 5. Week 5, you're not going to see weeks 1 through 4 or week 6 through the rest of the semester. So in any typical week, you will only see the week that we are on. You will not see course information for the other weeks. So right now in week 1, you're only going to see the week 1 information. So right now, let's open the week 1 folder. When you do that, a lot of information is going to emerge. Any particular week when that information emerges, you are always going to want to start by opening the document called Weekly Overview, Course Learning Outcomes, To-Do List, and Deadlines. Please do not, let me repeat, do not jump into the weekly graded work. If you do that, you're going to be doing things incorrectly, because you will not have watched videos, read directions. You're not going to have done things that are necessary for being successful in any of this work. So it's a requirement to open this weekly overview every week first. You know you're doing it right when you start with the picture. Then you're going to read a paragraph that tells you what the week's about. You will start with the course learning outcomes, and this is what by the end of the course you should know and be able to do. The weekly learning objectives are telling you what you should know and be able to do for that particular week, right? By the time you finish the week, what you should know and what skill sets you should have developed. And then you have the to-do list. Now the to-do list is telling you for that particular week, it's like your checklist of what you need to take care of, right? In terms of the lectures and the readings, the graded assignments, and the videos. So initially the to-do list just has everything together, and then you can see it's broken down by, again, lecture readings, assignments, and videos. Now this first week, it may look a little overwhelming. Now why does it look a little overwhelming? It's not, but it may look so, because you're having the Start Here information getting you grounded for the week, and it's also having the actual week 1 work. So most weeks you're not going to have, the responsibilities of understanding what the course is about, the Start Here. You're just going to have the week 1 work. But this particular week, you're learning about the class as well. Okay, so whenever you come down and the week is broken down into its individual components, if it ever has something that's blue and underlined, like a hyperlink, that means when you click on it, it's actually going to take you to, for example, if I click on the syllabus, it's going to take you to my OneDrive files, and you can read the syllabus. It's going to take you to the calendar, and you can read the calendar. For example, right now, I'm going to click on my biography, my professional biography, and it's going to take us to my website. So you can actually read my website. So if anything is a blue hyperlink, you can click on it and will actually take you to those pages. The same thing is true of the video, although I'm not going to click on the video right now, or you'll actually hear my voice a second time. It may take you to a YouTube page. It may take you to an actual video site. So these are all navigable, linkable areas that you can go to watch information, or it's a clickable link to take you to something to read. It's either a website, a PDF document, or so forth. So make sure that you're reading all this information, which is why I said you need to come to this page first before you go and do actual activities, because how can you do the activities if you haven't read or watched the material yet? Then there's some additional information or notes telling you specific instructions or directions, telling you the deadlines for work, and you will always end the week by having a motivational picture or quote. Then you can close the week, and then you can go to the actual required assignments. The directions will be embedded in all of those assignments. They will all be written there, and that's how everything is set up for the week. Okay, now let's move on to the course. Remember, we said we're going to go up to the top and we're going to look at the course menu. So these are just some helpful links. The calendar will organize all of your due dates, right? So you'll have all your due dates telling you when, for example, your discussions are due, when your quizzes are due, when your activities are due. The announcements are another helpful area. So these are not optional, you all. These are things that your professor is sending you to tell you about. Maybe there's something going on at the campus. Maybe there's an activity. Maybe there is something going on in your instructions that you need to know about. So please make sure you're paying attention to your announcements. Again, not optional, requirements from your instructor. The discussions are obviously embedded in your weekly assignments, but they will also appear here. So it's kind of, it's a double posting, but you can access your discussions through here. Gradebook, obviously very important, incredibly important. Your grades appear here. I update them on a weekly basis. But if, just so you know, if I ever need longer, I will let you know. But keep up with your grades on a weekly basis. Not only will I put your total points and percentage and grade, I also give feedback. So look for that little feedback icon. There is also a messages section. This is our email system in Blackboard. We can email each other as professor and student, but you can also email your classmates. You can email select classmates. You can email all your classmates. Again, this is not optional. You need to be checking your messages just like you're checking your announcements, or it's a requirement in your Blackboard classes. You don't need to worry about the analytics and the groups in this particular class. Over in the left-hand side for details and actions, yes, you can look at the roster to know everybody in your class, but for my class, the attendance is what is very important, right? I do mark attendance, and you get counted for attending by submitting work to be graded by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So you get counted as not attending if you do not submit something for grading. It's pretty easy. So there is no live attendance in this class. We don't have Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Blackboard Collaborate, so you don't have to worry about that. Just make sure you're submitting your work by Sundays at 11:59 p.m. and you get counted for attendance. Okay, so that is an overview of Blackboard. I hope that tutorial helps you. But at any point, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask me. But also remember, Blackboard and the Digital Learning Department has hundreds of videos posted. They have tutorials, they have videos, they have trainings to help you understand how Blackboard works. And I hope you have fun learning how to use this tool for educational purposes. And I hope you have fun with Blackboard and with this course. I'm on the other side.